What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I actually watched it last night when I got home. I went to the movies. I went to see Tyler Perry's Temptation, and it was But I watched the 30 Days in May special, and I wanted to give you guys my review on it, let you know what I thought. And I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was interesting. It kept my attention. And I liked the fact that it showed Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a more human side, if you will. And why I say human side is because most of the time we see him, it's at a press or post fight conference, it's at an interview or a showdown with Robert Guerrero on Showtime. So you see a certain level or a certain side of Floyd Mayweather. You see more or less him promoting his fights, him selling his fights, him being outspoken and candid about whatever he feels, him being him. But this it was a little bit different because even if you realize it, like when Mayweather's on First Take or not really First Take, but ESPN, when he's on shows like that or just doing interviews with certain people, a lot of times they're asking him questions. They're interviewing. What do you think about Pacquiao? What do you think about the Pacquiao knockout? What do you think about this or that? And with this, he's narrating it, so it's not really anyone asking him questions. Like a lot of times, I mean, people don't really realize this because we don't live in that environment or situation, but I'm sure some of these celebrities get tired of hearing the same questions over and over and over again. And I feel a lot of times people don't realize this, but in the media, if someone's known for being outspoken on a certain subject, a lot of times the media will intentionally bring that up just because they'll get a rise out of that person or they'll get a reaction. Um, so if you have boxingbuddy.com as your website and you have the opportunity to interview Floyd Mayweather 2 years ago, of course you're going to bring up Pacquiao because you know he's going to say something funny. He might slander or say something derogatory about Pacquiao, or it might make for good entertainment, basically. So that's like an old media trick. They say stuff about these people that they know is a subject they're probably tired of hearing about it. Um, Whatever the situation is, like it's like me knowing 50 Cent has beef with Ja Rule back in the day. That's like me doing an interview with 50 Cent, like, yo, tell me about Ja. Explain the Ja beef. You know 50's gonna say something special, man. He's a pussy nigga. Like, you know he's gonna say something funny. So again, that's why the media asks certain questions. But again, in this special, that's not really what we got. We got Floyd Mayweather kind of setting the pace and talking about whatever he wanted to talk about. And it was leading up to his jail sentence. They had some good shots and good B roll. That's what you guys call it. When they show like Vegas Strip and just other scenes. Um, a lot of good scenery, a lot of good B roll. And it was just, again, it was just like a raw and uncut Floyd Mayweather. We didn't see him, like, I didn't see him amped up, if you will. He wasn't all amped up. He was just kind of, there was a part where he was dancing and he had strippers or whatever. But for the most part, it was him prepping for his jail sentence. They showed some level of vulnerability um, about him being pretty much afraid to go to jail or the hardships of being in jail and like what he thought about the system. Um, I did think it was funny, speaking of 50 Cent, that 50 Cent was in it, but they blurred his whole face out. I just thought that part was funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, like it was entertaining. It's interesting to see that perspective of someone going to be locked up and what goes through their mind and what they do. I mean, this man got to live it up. He's in a lucky position. Some people go to jail and they're just at home and you know what I mean, they just got to go to jail. But he at least got to do some cool things, spend time with his family, take his kids to a Drake concert, and give Drake some words of wisdom with that kind of thing prior to getting locked up. So, um, and then to come out and know you're loaded and you got tons of money, um, that must be a good feeling as well. So, he endured it. He says it was hard, and I mean that's basically it. So, like I said, it was an interesting. Um, it would have been better, in my opinion, if it came out a little bit sooner because, I mean, he's been out for some time. Like they didn't even mention things like the Robert Guerrero fight because at the time it was being filmed, the Robert Guerrero fight wasn't talked about or it wasn't finalized or anything like that. So, in my opinion, I think the documentary would have been better suited coming out maybe closer to after he got out of jail. I mean, I know it takes time to edit and stuff, but that's just my personal taste. I think it would have been better if it was if it included some some things since the Robert Guerrero fight. You know what I mean? To see how he's adapting now and months later. That's just my personal opinion. But other than that, it was entertaining. I look forward to their fight on May 4th. They have a good, solid undercard. Leo Santa Cruz is going to be on it as well. Also, Mayweather's fighter, J. Leon Love, he's fighting. So it should be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, you got Ponce de Leon and Abner Mars, and then the main event, Robert Guerrero versus Mayweather. So that's my take on it. 30 Days of May. If you guys got Showtime, make sure you catch it. If you guys don't have Showtime, you're probably going to miss some good fights coming up. So you might want to look into getting it, save your little Kmart paycheck or whatever you guys do, and invest in Showtime. Because I think, I've said this before, I think eventually Showtime is going to be where it's at in terms of boxing, just because the commentators are less biased as they put on more shows and bigger fights and fights that the fans want to see. I think they will get a bigger budget, and HBO pretty much outcasted himself by not working with Golden Boy. And I'm not saying Golden Boy is everything for boxing, but we all know they do have a deep roster and they have a stable of fighters, especially young fighters that are already like in the process of being molded into future stars. If you look at Top Rank, they don't have as many. You got Nonito Donaire, but he's 30. He's 30, 31, and he hasn't had a pay-per-view. Yadmo Rigondeaux, 31, 32. Um, Marquez, Pacquiao. Marquez is late 30s, Pacquiao's mid 30s. Um, you don't really have that much fanfare or appealing. Like Jesse Vargas is young, but he's not really a common household name, nor does his style, in my opinion, and from what I've heard, his style, I appreciate it, but I'm saying it doesn't resonate. Like, he actually, because he's Hispanic, because he's Mexican, sometimes gets flack from other Mexican fighters because he doesn't fight like the quote unquote Mexican fighter, like, oh, brawl, go for the glory, brawling, and heart type fight. I'm not saying he doesn't have heart, but he fights in a more technical fashion. So some other Mexican fans, they don't relate as much to his style. So it'll be interesting. But anyway, make sure you guys check out 30 Days of May. That's all I got to really say. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And as always, comment, hate, subscribe. Until next video, it's Ego signing off.